Well, there's no doubt that no one thought it would get this far down. Even the Saudis and the Russians, who are playing a game of mine is bigger than yours, didn't think that. I mean, it was all started, if you remember, by the COVID-19 virus in China, which was taking away the economy in China was falling, and therefore taking significant demand away. At the following OPEC meeting, where they decided to have a meeting to try and cut production, that the OPEC members agreed, but Russia didn't. And I don't think Russia had any idea of what it was entering into, and clearly hadn't done the history on the Saudis. The Saudis, although they have got an equally high, in fact, quite a lot higher need for the price of oil to run their economy, are also equally harsh in terms of how they're going to treat their own people, and say, we're going to have to wear this price, bearing in mind that although Russia have got a slightly more defensive picture in terms of they probably need $40 or $50 a barrel, they have got a much higher cost of producing, and that the Saudis can produce oil at $5 or $10 a barrel easily. So we're in a position that no one wanted to get into, and it's very much a case of status between the companies. So how are we going to get out of this? I think it's going to take a little while. We have a price war going on. The Saudis have increased, opened the spigots, increased. They were producing 10 million barrels a day before, and they can produce about 12 to 12.5 million barrels, partly from stock and partly from literally just increasing their production, something Russia can't do. Russia have no increase capability at all. And you'll see that smart guys in the market have been picking up a lot of tanker storage, including around Saudi Aramco, who I think have actually bought most of the stock of VLCCs. And so that's for two reasons. One is that's where they can put the oil for the time being. And the other thing is that if they want to go into a longer war, they'll have a lot of stocks up their sleeve, and they're the only people who can do that. So at $25, US onshore almost collapses. The Permian is unprofitable. These companies are highly indebted, and the banks are, they're not prepared to take a view on whether it's Russia v. Saudi Arabia 6 months or 12 months or longer. They will close them down. They can't run the business for cash like other people can. So you've got to have a look at where you think that the number stops at. And because the West Texas price went below 25, we suddenly saw Trump sending out Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State. He had a conversation with MBS, the Saudi leader, and unusually this is the first time that we've seen that the Americans normally worry when the price is too high. If you remember, gasoline was over $2.50 a gallon. Now gasoline is $2 a gallon, falling. Demand is falling, and it's not helped by the COVID-19 virus. So Saudis are flexing their muscles. You've got to say, when do you think it's going to stop? That's the question that everyone wants to know. Well, my guess is that we're going to have it for at least 3 months. And I think your next peg that you can hang anything on is that the OPEC governance, the Secretariat, have announced that there will be an OPEC meeting on June the 9th, full ministerial meeting, to be followed on June the 10th by an OPEC plus meeting where Russia and everybody else falls in. At that stage, I would think that is a time for stop putting your toys out of the pram, make some proper decisions. The US obviously won't be invited to that, but they'll make their representations in front of it. So initially, long answer to a short question is that I reckon that that in a position where the market was already very difficult in terms of production exceeding supply, always is in the first half. China made it worse. All this excellent production isn't going to change the oil price on its own. Smart guys might be saying they'd buy up a bit of crude in the sort of low 20s, but at the moment it's a big risk to take.